Here is one of the first drawings that I made from One Piece of Usopp, brothers and sisters. If you enjoy it, please follow me on Twitter, Instagram, and Facebook to see more artwork like this. One Piece, Chapter 74, Business. Oh, hello, my brothers and sisters of the Nerd Nation. I, as always, am Jim, here to bring you another review on the cleverly woven tale, sometimes comical, sometimes serious, sometimes action, balls to the wall packed, of One Piece. Our last chapter was fairly comical and saw Luffy, Sanji, and Yusaku drawing nearer to Arlong Park. It ended with them after Sanji having kicked the giant sea beast, Momu, in the throat. They've lashed a rope or some sort of device to him, and he is pulling them towards Arlong Park. So Usopp had also been captured and was kind of brought in front of Arlong. So Nami's loyalty was questioned as well. And anyway, so that's where we ended off, and this is where we start up. Usopp is being questioned by Arlong because he knows that there's now a connection between him and Zoro, who of course has left and has we find out he's actually slain a lot of his men. So he's actually killed a lot of a lot of Arlong's pirates and a lot of his crew. So Arlong said, and Usopp's trying to convince him, no, I don't have any affiliation with him. He's not here to hunt you. He's not out for a bounty. And Arlong says, I have a 20 million berry bounty on my head, the most in the East Blue. So that would basically, that would entice anyone to come after me. So a bit of back and forth goes on with that, and and Usopp says, again, he's asking him where Zoro is, and Usopp's like, he doesn't know, obviously, but Usopp's like, Zoro's gonna, if you kill me, Zoro's gonna come here and, he'll take you out. And he's like, so if I kill you? So Arlong goes, so if I kill you, Zoro will come. And he's like, no, as a matter of fact, if you kill me, he'll never come. If you don't kill me, though, and you just have me held hostage, he'll come to try to rescue me. And so it kind of goes back and forth, and it's funny, even one of Arlong's crew says, oh geez, what a flip-flop there, how he goes back and forth. So Nami's loyalty is still in question at this point, and she's kind of musing to herself and thinking, God, I wish you hadn't followed me this far. You're going to ruin everything now. I can't let the last 8 years go down the drain, though, because if they find out that I have any doubt in my mind or any hesitation in my heart with this, they'll kill me too, So she goes up and kind of starts getting in Usopp's face, and Usopp goes and gives her the third degree, man. Usopp's like, how could you be like this? Seriously, how could you be so cold-hearted? Luffy and everybody trusted you. I mean, even now, Luffy still trusts you completely. And when you left and stole our boat and our treasure, Luffy believed in you and wanted to have us come get you back. And this is who you are? You're this piece of garbage? And she says, yeah, I'm only in it for the money, and I'm only this, I'm only that. So at that point, all of a sudden, emerging from the water is Hachi, and if we remember right, he's the one that made friends with Zoro in the last one, and Zoro kind of deceived him by saying, I'm a guest of Arlong's. So Hachi goes and, pops up and goes, what the hell happened here? And he sees the bodies strewn about everywhere. And Arlong says, the Rorona Zoro was here, and, he has managed to escape and this and that. Where were you? Maybe if you were here, you could have stopped him. And he says, well, no, I mean, I wasn't here, and the only person that I saw was, was the swordsman that needed a lift. I gave him a lift to Coco Village. And he's like, what? That was Zoro, you idiot. So Hachi's like, well, I didn't know. He told me he was a guest of you, Lord Arlong, and I figured you'd still be in Coco Village. So Arlong then goes and says, okay, well, don't worry about that. Obviously he's looking for me, so he'll eventually make his way back here when he finds out that this is where I've come back to. So he's not too worried at that point, and Hachi just sort of looks foolish with what happened. So, but then Nami goes and decides to make her move, and she's like, I have to gain the trust and make them think that I'm loyal again, because we do know what her end game is as far as the 100 million berries, buying the village back, and that she'll do anything to do it. So she goes and she just fucking just nails Usopp, right? And she's like, and he's, what the hell? And even they're like, well, what are you doing, Nami? And she goes and she gets up in his face and she goes, you should not have hit Lord Arlong. That was a mistake. It was a mistake of you coming here. Now I'm going to be the one to eliminate you. So you're like, eliminate? Was she going to fucking kill him? So Usopp goes, yeah, listen, you think I'm scared of a little girl like you? And he goes and he jumps back and goes, smoke stars, you know, and throws out smoke bombs. And they're all like, Arlong's like, surround him, smoke bombs, this and that. And Usopp's like, I'll escape across the water, right? Nami goes and she's like so predictable. And as he's kind of going to flee and get away, she just nails him, just backhands him with her staff, right? And he just gets knocked on his ass. He goes to get back up and she just jacks him again, you know, and I mean, she's beating his shit in, you know. So it winds up, you know, going for a few panels of you know, him just taking a royal beating, and then ultimately it ends in what is a very, I guess, a very sad-looking panel, because we see from the side she goes and pulls a knife and she just guts him, man. I mean, it gets him right in the, you know, looks like right somewhere in the abdomen, maybe a little bit to the right where the kidneys are. I don't know. But, you know, there's blood everywhere, and even he's just like, Nami, you know, like, I can't believe that you would have done this, right? It's one thing to go and get in a tangle or a fight about something or whatever, but really, you know, you fucking stabbed me. So he goes and, you know, he falls to the ground or whatever, and everybody's just like, even the crew is like, oh, man, you know, so now they're like, wow, I'm sorry we ever doubted you. So she goes and she just fucking kicks him into the water, right? And the couple of panels later, and just says, "Yeah, you always wanted a burial by sea, right? You know," and just, you know, just, and she's got blood on her knife and everything, and oh man, you know, she turns and she thinks in her head, "Hey, I didn't want it to come to this, but you know, I'll do anything," you know. So then somebody goes and says, "Oh yeah, you know, I'm sorry for questioning your loyalty, Nami. We know you're with us." And she's like, "I'm not with anybody." She goes, "You know what? I made an oath, and I'm going to fulfill that. I have to get 100 million berries, you know, to Arlong to buy my village, or to buy Coco Village, and that's it. You know what I mean? I have no allegiance to anybody." So then one of his pirates, you know, one of his henchmen or whatever, say, "Oh yeah, well, you know, I found this in your room, Nami, you know, in your old house." She goes, I could never understand, since you just love money so much and your allegiance seems to be just to money, right? I could never understand that, so I found that, you know, that you used to live in Coco Village, or your house in Coco Village, and I found this in your old room. And he goes and pulls out, it's a treasure map, or it's a map of, you know, treasure map of Coco Village, and X marks the spot is right in Coco Village there. So he's like, you know, and there's treasure and blah, blah, and this and that. So Arlong's tired of this shit, right? Arlong's like, that's her property. Give it back to her. Stop this shit now, you know? And she even goes and she says, it's none of your goddamn business. You know, you got to leave me alone and stop trying to accuse me and find things to go and to bitch about, you know, and to do. And like I said, at this point, I'm shocked that she stabbed Usopp, right? And I mean, even Johnny goes and sees it. Remember, Johnny got away, and he's kind of just been lurking somewhere in between Coco Village, Gosa Village, and Arlong Park. And he's kind of looking over, peering over the door, you know, or to the place, and he sees her stab him and Usopp bleeding out. And he's just like, Brother Usopp, you know? And he says, you know, I got to go find Brother Luffy and Brother Zoro, you know, and tell them I can't believe that, you know, Nami's a witch and that she killed Brother Usopp, right? So, and again, I was just shocked too, because I'm thinking, wow, man, she's really going far with this one. But you know, I can't say that I agree nor disagree. I'm going to be just impartial on this one and just say that I was surprised that she stabbed Usopp. Shortly thereafter, it ends as things are starting to culminate and come together now. We see Luffy, Sanji, and Yosaku in the boat being pulled by Momu, the big sea cow, you know, the sea cow monster or the Grand Line or what have you. And Luffy's just like, come on, keep going, you know, we're almost there. So you know that they're approaching Arlong Park, and and Luffy's like, yeah, you know, boy, I tell you, that kick you gave him, Sanji, really calmed him down, really took the fight out of him, you know, because Sanji had kicked him right in the throat in the last chapter, if you remember. So as they're going and kind of pulling in and, you know, and heading to crash into the shore, right? Zoro comes running in from the other side, because he's running back now from Coco Village to get to Arlong Park, and Zoro's like, you know, at the same time. So everybody's converging over here, and then Johnny's like, I've got to tell them what she did to Brother Usopp, you know? So the shit is getting close to hitting the fan over here. At least that's my prediction. It seems like everybody's going to come together, and certainly I don't think anybody's going to be excited about Usopp being stabbed. Now, my theory on the whole thing is that she made sure that when she did stab him, she somehow either did some sleight of hand where she already had a blade with blood on it and she stabbed him, but maybe only just like a flesh wound, you know, and just kind of caught him in the skin just to cause some bleeding, or didn't get him as deep as she did, acted it up more than it was to actually save him. I don't know, though. That's just my thoughts and impressions and predictions. Let me know what you think, brothers and sisters, in the comments down below. Feel free to hit the thumbs up, the like button if you think that I deserve it, and subscribe if you haven't done so already. We will look forward to catching you in the next one, Nation.
As always, thanks for watching, brothers and sisters, and remember, join the Nerd Nation. It's the right thing to do. Trust me. Tell them Jim sent you.